Okay, so for those of you who have accepted my challenge to grow the humble chayote here in the UK in our glorious subtropical weather, not really. I thought I'd just give you a close-up of what the chocho actually looks like once it starts to germinate. Now, I have seen videos where you can actually remove the actual outer part of the chayote, which is the fleshy bit which you actually eat. Normally you would peel this and slice it into pieces and eat it before the seed inside starts to mature. But I've actually seen folks actually cut this open and remove this seed from inside, and perhaps next year I'll try and give that a go to see how effective it is to grow it from seed. That would basically mean we wouldn't have to get rid of the actual part that we eat, because now I'll plant this entire thing in the ground and hopefully it will grow. But I just thought I'd just show you what it looks like. So this is how it looks once it starts to germinate. You can see here the seed in the bottom. These little nodes here, these little spiky bits are the roots, and it will actually start to send out roots once it hits the soil. And you can see it's got this little stem coming out. It's divided into two, and that's what will happen in the plant. Once it starts growing, it then divides like an octopus with many tentacles going out, aiming for the light. As long as you give it a nice rich nutrient rich soil, then it should do pretty well. It has these large green leaves which have several tips on them. Almost looks like a hexagon once it starts to produce its leaves. But for now, this is what it looks like in its infancy, and I'm hoping that I won't kill this because it's my only plant which I've started germinating. I normally have a spare just in case, as you never know what could happen, like disease, or it could fall and break, and you know, any amount of things could happen. So a word to the wise, guys, if you are joining us in the challenge, make sure you get a couple just in case something was to happen to one of them, because it does take a little while for it to start sprouting. Now, in order to sprout this, guys, all you have to do, get it, keep it in your kitchen, wait for it to just harden off, sort of callus a bit, you know, get nice and firm, as long as it's not too tender, and then you'll see the bottom start to split open and the seed will start to protrude bit by bit, day after day. Just keep it in a nice, cool, dry place in your kitchen, not too cold, not too hot, and eventually you'll see the seed start to come out from the bottom, and then it will start sprouting just like this. And that's when you know you're onto something. Now, once it starts to sprout, you can actually sort of put it upside down just like this in the soil to let it come in contact with it, and this will increase how quickly the roots will start to come out. So if I was to plant this right now, within a matter of a week, it would just absolutely take off. But I'm deliberately keeping it away from the soil, because what you'll find will happen is it might grow too big too quick within the house before we sort of get that last frost. Even today, it was so cold that I haven't really been out in the garden much, and this needs to go into the ground around late April to early May, or at least after your last frost, depending on where you are living. If you're living in the south, you might be able to get away with it much earlier. We're in the West Midlands and the weather here is so unpredictable. So all you need to do is purchase a couple of these from the store if you're joining our challenge, and simply keep it in your kitchen, keep an eye on it, and within a couple of weeks you should see that it starts to sprout. There is still plenty of time. At the time of recording this is around early March, and so there is loads of time for this to grow. I have tried overwinter it before, but I didn't have much success. Other people have overwintered it. I've seen AA Home Gardening actually overwinter their chayote before. And so it's something that you can definitely do, but mine normally gets planted in the ground, and at the end of summer I literally just let it die back, guys. They're very inexpensive, so it doesn't cost much to pick up an extra one. Probably cost you £1 to £2 depending on the size. You don't need to get an absolutely giant one for this to work. However, I suppose based on genetics, the bigger they are, potentially the larger the fruit, but I'm not sure if that's the case. That's one of the reasons why I've chosen a smaller one this year, to see if we'll have big fruit or will there be more smaller to match the mother plant, so to speak. So yep, welcome on board all of you who are joining us and our chayote experiment this year. And like I said, I might have to find a prize for whoever grows the most on their plant, so you will have to keep a diary of this, guys. But that's it from me today. Just a little update, giving you some tips on how to grow the chayote. All you need to do to start is to get yourself a couple, keep them indoors in your kitchen. nice cool to warm temperature, and just wait for them to start to germinate, and hopefully we'll be able to have some success. Anyway, that's it from me today, guys. Take care, God bless, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, guys. We really appreciate your comments down below. I always respond and we hope to hear from you. Do check out our other videos as well as the other channel that was mentioned, AA Home Gardening. She grows some amazing plants, some of the most tropical plants you can imagine. She's growing here in cold UK, as she loves to say. So do check out her channel once again. This is Kenroy signing off for another video. Take care, goodbye, and God bless. Peace.